Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of GoSuGatored vs. GLiTCHStarCraft from MLG Providence 2011. Spawning in the bottom left corner, our winner from Game 1, spawning as the Blue Protoss. Playing from team It's GoSuEsports, we have GoSuGatored. Spawning in the top right position, his opponent today, spawning as the Red Terran. Playing from team Slayers, we have GanZi. One little interesting fact about GanZi is that actually in Korean it's not pronounced GanZi, but it's actually pronounced GanJi. So, I don't know. Just thought people might want to know that, in case you cared to know that. They actually don't have a Z sound in Korean. So, yeah, let's jump right into this game right now. Tal'Darim Altar, interesting choice. This is, of course, the MLG version, which I don't think actually that much changes on the MLG version from the standard version. If it does... No, I don't think it does. If it does, if you know that actually something changes in Tal'Darim Altar for MLG versions, let me know down in the comments below, because I don't think it does. I've actually never heard of there being any changes in the MLG version of this map. So if there are any changes, let me know. I'm pretty sure they don't force any cross-map spawns or anything like that, so I don't think there's anything screwy to be watching out for. Now, in Game 1, GoSuGatored played a very defensive style where he just did pretty well. I don't know, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I feel like the reason GoSuGatored won was more due to GanZi's choices and a few bad decisions that GanZi made, more than GoSuGatored's amazing play. GoSuGatored, of course, he did macro very, very solidly, went for a very nicely timed extended thermal lance with 3 Colossus timing attack that was quite nice. But I think more the reason that GanZi lost that match was that early Marine push. I really feel like that early Marine push, really he committed too strongly to that early push, and that really, really weakened the rest of his forces for the rest of the game. He pushed in with all those Marines very early on when GoSuGatored had a very, very high stalker count. I think forcing those stalkers was a very, very good move by GanZi. By moving up, he forced all those stalkers out of GoSuGatored. And one thing about stalkers is that stalkers are kind of a unit that kind of spend your minerals and gas very, very evenly. If you are building lots and lots of stalkers constantly, you can't really do anything else because it spends your minerals and your gas so well that it's not like zealots, where if you're spending a lot of zealots, if you're getting a lot of zealots, it means you're spending a lot of your minerals, so you're gonna have a lot of gas. So zealots allows you to do things like get upgrades or start the tech to colossi and do things like that. Sentries, if you build a lot of sentries, sentries are very, very gas heavy, so they use up all your gas but allow you to use lots of minerals on things like getting up lots of gateways and things like that. But GoSuGatored, since he saw this high Marine count, he could have gone for a lot of Zealots, but he didn't have charge, so Zealots can be kited easily by Marines. So he decided to go for those Stalkers, which means he can't really do anything else. Stalkers kind of spend a lot of minerals and a good amount of gas, so that you can't really do anything else once you start to build a lot of Stalkers. So I like that GanZi forced the Stalkers. It really limits the other things that GoSuGatored could have been doing. GoSuGatored probably would have preferred to use those gas and that minerals on doing other things. But the fact that those early stalkers were forced means that GanZi kind of prevented GoSuGatored from doing things, but then GanZi kind of kept pushing for the attack anyway, kind of just kept moving in with all those Marines, got all those Marines cleaned up, and really just didn't have a whole lot going on back home. And behind that, he was like expanding behind that, but now he just didn't really have the required forces necessary to defend against it, didn't really have a whole lot of other tech going on. But now, ooh, it looks like GoSuGatored is going to be getting a little bit aggressive. He did hide a couple of gateways here in the back, and I don't think GanZi hasn't scouted a single thing the entire game, but he does know that this pylon has gone down here for GoSuGatored, so he does know, and ooh, he is actually going to be canceling his expansion command center there and actually building a couple of bunkers at the front of his base. GoSuGatored getting very, very aggressive. There is one bunker that is up here. SCV's being pulled off the line right now. GanZi moving forward with a few Marines trying to focus down this one Zealot. The Zealot does pull back in time, and now GoSuGatored is just focusing all of his attacks on these SCVs. I really, 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 really like this from GoSuGatored. He's already denying a lot of mining time here from GanZi, but now he's just picking off every single SCV that he can. Look at that! Even goes in, picks off one more SCV for nothing. Doesn't lose another Stalker there. Loses some shield damage. One of his Stalkers takes a little bit of hull damage there, but not too much. Hellion's actually sneaking into the back. Oh my goodness. Hellion's moving in for GanZi right now, trying to pick off a few workers. If we check out the workers killed count right now, GoSuGatored's still way more up in the workers killed count right now. Looks like GLiTCHStarCraft did manage to pick off 3 workers there, but he's now being forced to pull back as a few stalkers were warped in there. And the warp gate tech is up right now. Notice this is a 3-gate tech, and now he's got his opponent completely on a contain, now taking that expansion nexus that GLiTCHStarCraft did scout. He does know that that expansion has gone down. But he's now forced on 1 base. Siege tanks are now coming out for GLiTCHStarCraft, so it looks like he's going to be salvaging that bunker in favor of getting some more siege tanks. Currently only 1 barracks. This is a very, very weird kind of style from GLiTCHStarCraft to only have 1 reactor barracks up right now while he techs to siege tank. That's a very, very strange play. On the one hand, I like it because it's a very, very lean set of production structures. This is 2 production structures. That's all GLiTCHStarCraft's going to have out here is 2 production structures. Obviously, it would have been nice for him to not have to cancel that expansion nexus or that expansion command center that he did have down, but I kind of like this. I kind of like that he's just going to be operating on just these 2 production structures. That can be a very, very lean mixture of builds, and that means he can get a lot of money devoted to units. But of course, GLiTCHStarCraft right now is starting to get a very, very high unit count because his Nexus is way ahead. He had his opponent contained there for quite a bit. If we check out the Harvester count, wow, he's up in Harvesters. 29 to 21 Harvesters. That is quite a bit of Harvesters. His opponent doesn't even have a second command center down right now. It is the 8-minute and 45-second mark right now. And this is really just not that big of an attack right now for GLiTCHStarCraft. GLiTCHStarCraft's going to feel like he needs to do some damage right now. But if we check out the army count right now, for GLiTCHStarCraft right now, his unit count is actually pretty high. He's got 4 Zealots currently out, 8 Stalkers. With these 3 warp gates up, he's going to be able to warp in more units right now. No other tech coming down. The Robo facility is currently down, but yeah, look at that. GLiTCHStarCraft just pushing that attack back right now. He is not at all worried about that, and he's using those Stalkers to pick off so many of those Marines right now. GLiTCHStarCraft losing so much, is going to be feeling so behind right now. Going to need to do something drastic if he wants to catch up. I would actually really, really like to see some kind of a starport going down right now, and look at that. GLiTCHStarCraft actually just sacrificing a couple of Marines in order to save his siege tanks, because his siege tanks are getting very close to being taken out right now. No other bunkers going down, and this command center, is it going to be denied again? I think it is. I think GLiTCHStarCraft is actually going to deny any mining from going down at this command center for quite a while, and look at that. GLiTCHStarCraft now just going for another contain on his opponent right now. His resources are just so far ahead of GLiTCHStarCraft. GLiTCHStarCraft just has not had any tempo control this entire game. GLiTCHStarCraft has been completely controlling the tempo of this game, and oh my god, is he going to be able to pick off that command center? SCV's being pulled off the line, does manage to pick off a couple of Stalkers there. This command center is now burning down. He's going to need to repair that as soon as possible. And GLiTCHStarCraft, once again, notice he's pretty much giving up his Zealots right now while he uses these Stalkers to focus down lots of SCVs. More and more workers killed. 16 workers killed right now. 22 Harvesters to 42 right now. GLiTCHStarCraft with just an amazing, amazing control of the tempo of this game. Every time he moves in, he moves in, forces pressure on his opponent, and every time he sees his opponent pull SCVs, he just focuses on SCVs while he follows up with economic-based play. Brilliant, brilliant, very, very smart, solid play. GLiTCHStarCraft is not doing anything. He's not doing anything crazy. He's not doing any weird Void Ray techs. He's not doing any weird upgrade plays, anything like that. He's going very, very standard. 3 warp gate, 1 robo facility, and that's it. He hasn't even really been using that robotics facility for anything other than getting up 1 observer. No immortals have been up this entire game. 1 is now coming out for GLiTCHStarCraft, but that is the first one we've seen all game. So far, it has strictly been a Zealot Stalker with a very small number of sentry composition. And that's just been so simple. It's so simple, but he's just been using those units so well, and he's been very careful about how he times his attacks, and he's just been completely controlling the pacing of this game. GLiTCHStarCraft in such a huge advantage position right now. Currently 92 food to the 66 of his opponent. Still way up in Harvesters right now. Gonna be taking his 3rd here very soon. Already setting up that probe. There we go. 3rd going down. GLiTCHStarCraft has not been mining on this expansion at all. Look at the low number of workers he has there. At his natural, his main is starting to get a little bit mined out there. Notice not that many workers in his main either right now. He is just so far behind. Combat shield just now coming up. This is such a late combat shield here for GLiTCHStarCraft. In the meantime, a starport is now up. getting a reactor on it. I would almost prefer to see that going onto a tech lab, maybe trying to get some Banshees out right now, trying to do something. He needs to do something big to come back in this game right now. Right now he is behind, and there's just not a whole lot he can do right now. Forge upgrades coming down. I love this move from GoSuGatored. GoSuGatored, as long as he's not getting up units, he wants to be spending his resources on getting up lots of upgrades and spending lots of his minerals on getting up more and more warp gates, so that means he can warp in even more buildings. GanZi now coming in here, gonna be scouting that third, and that has got to just feel dreadful for GanZi right now because he knows he just doesn't have that much. He really doesn't have that much to be doing a lot of big pushes. He is going to be going for drops. I really like this play here from GanZi. He needs to be doing something to try to get back in the lead, and as you can see, this drop could potentially deal a lot of damage. I like that. It's very low risk. He's not risking a whole lot of his units here, but he could potentially deal a lot of damage, so I really like that. GoSuGatored does not have a whole lot of vision. He's got one pylon here, going to be scouting if there are any units going to be out there, but he of course does have this observer in the front, and did he actually scout that medevac? I don't know that he did, and I don't think that he did. He does have some stalkers here in position to defend drops, and oh my god, look at that game sense from GoSuGatored, throwing down the photon cannons anyway. I kind of almost feel like he might have scouted that medevac coming, but I don't know, those stalkers aren't quite in the best position for stopping the drops. He's moving his stalkers around. He might have seen that drop coming. He's moving a lot of stalkers around. He might just have a good game sense. I mean, this is got to be one of the only things that he's got to be worried about right now. Yeah, there we go. The drop is now coming down for GanZi. Going to start to pick off a lot of workers here, but more units being warped in. Zealots being warped in to take damage here, and look at that. GoSuGatored focusing the medevac first. Beautiful move there by GoSuGatored, ensuring that his opponent cannot get ahead, or get away rather, which I really like. He's okay with sacrificing zealots and stalkers right now because he knows he's ahead in he's got a big economic lead right now. He's got such a huge economic lead. A second drop actually coming in now for GoSuGatored. Gonna be picking that off right now, preventing that from going down at all. Not gonna be able to pick off too much if we check out the workers killed count. Only 7 workers killed right now for GanZi, and GoSuGatored just continuing to play very standard, getting up lots and lots of zealots, getting up upgrades. We do see that extended thermal lance now coming down. We see the robotics facility training those colossi. Actually, he is going to be supply blocked, wasting a little bit of a chrono boost there. Drop in the back for GanZi right now. Not going to be able to do too much. He's just now getting really well saturated on his natural expansion main. Not really that saturated. Getting +1 infantry armor right now. +2 infantry weapons coming down. He is so behind in upgrades. One drop going down at the back of the third right now. Oh no, GoSuGatored needs to pull those workers back. He's leaving those workers out for just a little bit too long. GanZi getting a few more worker kills than he should have. But GoSuGatored just playing solid right now. All GoSuGatored needs to do right now is stay ahead. That's what he needs to do right now. He's not trying to be super aggressive right now. He's not saying, you know what, I'm not going to try to kill you right now. I'm just going to stay ahead in the worker count. I'm going to stay ahead in the food count. And I'm just going to continue to just stay ahead all game long. And then once I start to feel comfortable, once I start to get close to maxed, that's really when I'm going to push out and do some damage. Whoa, there is one stray immortal out here, interestingly enough here, and it looks like he's going to be able to pick off a few marauders there. Looks like GanZi just now going to be taking his third. It's such a late third. GoSuGatored has just been controlling the pacing of this game so much, and GanZi just really hasn't been able to do it. Look at this army from GanZi. Really just not that strong of an army right now. Another drop going down at the back of the third right now. Gonna pick off some more workers here, and GoSuGatored trying to warp in some more units. Gonna be able to, I think, deny that from doing too much more damage, and yeah, GanZi now just gonna be pulling back right now. GanZi has no idea that this big push is coming, but he has got to be feeling pretty worried right now. He still hasn't taken his third right now just because his army is so small. He hasn't been able to expand as much as he really wanted to. And GoSuGatored now taking full center map control. This is absolutely something you want to do in the mid game. Almost similar to chess. Having mid-control of a map is absolutely critical. By controlling the center of the map, you really control the entire game. Especially when you have an army advantage on your opponent like GoSuGatored has. Look at this. GoSuGatored just now maxing out, placing that forward pylon, maxing out, moving out, and then until he's maxed, though, he was keeping center control. I really like that from GoSuGatored. It's not something that's like a huge deal. It's not something that's like requires tip-top level micro to do. Anybody can do that. Once you're ahead, just stay ahead, continue to build workers, continue to expand, don't do anything risky. Just play safe. Control the middle of the map because you know your army is bigger than your opponent's. And then once you're maxed and you start to feel like, all right, you know what? Now I'm up in upgrades. I'm up in worker count. I'm up in army count. Now I can finally start to be aggressive, and now I can finally start to go for these big attacks when I have lots and lots of units to remax very, very quickly. Notice he's even going for a variety of tech. We do see Templar Archives going down, +3 ground weapons as well as +3 ground armor going to be finishing, and look at how fast he's ripping through the army of GLiTCHStarCraft. GLiTCHStarCraft's forces are just disintegrating so quickly to the forces of GoSuGatored right now. Stalker's dealing so much damage. The Zealots going down very quickly, but not before those Colossi were able to do quite a bit of damage. Colossi did fall to the Vikings, but look at the Stalker count, still so very high for GoSuGatored. Denies the expansion, going the natural expansion, and now GLiTCHStarCraft is in such a terrible position. GG from SlayerSGanZi, and GoSuGatored takes the best of 3 2-0 against a top 3 GSL Code S champion. Holy cow, that is unbelievable. Such smart, solid play from GoSuGatored. Absolutely love that game. If you guys enjoyed those series, please comment, please subscribe. Let me know what I can do to make these casts better for you guys. That is something I've been endorsing lately, just because lately I've kind of been feeling like, you know what, I need something to take these casts to the next level. I want to do something to improve these casts. Let me know what I can do to make these casts better for you guys. Comment down below. Of course, hit that subscribe button. I love every single subscriber that I get. I'm almost at 150 subscribers now. Unbelievable. I never really thought I would get that far, but hey, as long as you guys keep watching my videos, I will keep uploading them. I promise. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big heart to all of you guys, and yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. More MLG games uploading this week. I'm gonna be casting pretty much MLG games all this week, so check them out. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Glitch out.